Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Saris MHS 3+1 MHS base, and we'll see how it fits on this 2023 Kia Seltos. Now, we're focusing right here on our base. I do have some accessories on top of it. We have the MHS Cargo Basket and the MHS DUO Tray, but you can also use this base with other accessories. Our focus here today is its dimensions as well as how it fits with this car. Right off the bat, I would like to say that it is a little bit overkill for the Seltos. This does have a lot of weight capacity, in fact more than most tongue weight capacities for most of the hitches available for the Seltos. I currently have a 2-inch hitch receiver though, and that's going to be the baseline requirement to carry this base. Some things you want to look for is that tongue weight capacity as well as the weight capacities of the accessories you use with this. So if you're using the 3+1 to carry only bikes, then you have 80 pounds, 80 pounds, 35 pounds, and another 35-pound weight capacity for those different slots. Something I've noticed on the Seltos is that if you want to access that tilt-away feature, which you do by pulling this lever and dropping this down, this does touch the ground, so it doesn't have the full tilt experience. The good news is you have this really good stand here, so you're not worried about smashing your hand on the ground. It will support the weight of your cargo, your accessories, as well as this base, giving you more clearance to open up the hatch. Bringing this back in, you can then lift up on our base, and now you're ready to drive. This will add a lot of length to the back of your vehicle too. So, taking a measurement for that, I like to measure from our plastic bumper to the end of the rack. That's going to be 46 inches. If you use that add-on feature, then your add-on tray will add even more length, getting you closer to the 4-foot mark, which is a lot of clearance to think about. The good news is your Seltos doesn't take up that much room, so you do have room to spare if you need to park into a tighter spot or in your garage. Hopefully that measurement will help you out. Another measurement, and we got a glimpse of it when we tilted it away, is ground clearance. So measuring for a hitch receiver or a shank to the ground, that's 9 inches of clearance. And let's measure for the ground clearance of our base, and that's going to be 12 inches. So there is a slight shank rise, giving us a little bit more height, but because of how far this sits out and because of how heavy some of the items you might have on this, you may experience a little bit of sag when you have this weighted down, and that will decrease your ground clearance. So just be careful with those speed bumps, those tall hills, or those steep driveways. And if you do need to make this a bit more compact, what I really like seeing is, obviously without any cargo or bikes, we are able to fold this all the way up. So quick measurement there is from that bumper to the end of the rack, which is by the handle. This now sits at 15 inches without the handle, 11 inches of space behind your vehicle. Big difference compared to when it was folded down. If you don't have space in the garage, this is how you'll load your rack onto your vehicle in order to get it to work. Now, with it folded up like this, it is going to cover a good amount of things behind your car, but that will depend on what type of accessories you do use. This is a good example, though, of how our DUO Tray does cover our taillights, but the base itself only sits just a little bit above our windshield wiper, giving us pretty good view through our rear window. It may cover your rear backup camera, which sits right there on the base, so that is something to be mindful of. Also, it will cover your license plate. If you tilted it down to the 45-degree angle, you can see here that it just barely clears, but it does give you full clearance to open up the hatch if you needed to put away groceries or other cargo real quick. So that's really nice to see. I do appreciate having all that clearance and all that space and still being able to use some features of our Seltos. So if you're looking into the MHS system and you're trying to figure out which base does fit well with your vehicle, this 3+1, while it does seem very attractive for the amount of accessories you can put on the base, might be a little bit too large for your Seltos. Another thing to be mindful is what kind of hitch do you have. If you have that 1.25" hitch receiver, you might only be able to use the MHS 1+1 base anyways, which will take up a lot less space and a lot less weight and might be a good fit for you. For your 2" hitch receivers, you may be better off with the 2+1. You can still carry the basket and an add-on. So hopefully this video gave you a good baseline for how much space this base takes up behind your vehicle. This was a look at the Saris MHS 3+1 base, and you saw it on the 2023 Kia Seltos.